What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Shaman Warrior Network. I'm your host, Shaman Jona, and today we're going to be talking about the Johnny Depp and Amber Heard trial. It's trending right now. It's all over the news. Everybody's saying justice for Johnny, but I'm not here to talk about my bias. I'm here to talk about my experience as I'm watching this trial, what it's bringing up within me, and what I'd like for all of us as a community to acknowledge and understand. So stay tuned and check it out.
It's the Shaman Warrior Network. Ignite the inner flame, catalyst of the change, planting thoughts in your brain. Lift you up off this plane, breathe easy, connect with the cheese.
So to give you a little backstory on the case, Johnny Depp, also known as Jack Sparrow from the Pirates of the Caribbean movies, is suing his ex-wife, Amber Heard, for defamation because she had done an article with Entertainment News and said that she was a victim of domestic abuse. And after that happened, Johnny Depp lost his Pirates of the Caribbean 6 contract worth $100 million. So that's why he's suing her now, saying that what she said was false and that he never domestically abused her at all. And since she came out with those allegations, it has affected his career in a negative way, and he's requesting some type of compensation for the defamation. Now, this case has been interesting, to say the least. Both sides have brought up a lot of evidence, audio recordings, video recordings that really get you thinking. Stuff brought up actually a lot of childhood traumas for me because it connected so much, and this is actually what I want to bring awareness to. Today, Dr. Shannon Curry, a clinical and forensic psychologist, went up to the stand, and she was hired by Johnny Depp's legal team to do a psychological evaluation on Amber Heard. By the end of this psychological evaluation, Dr. Curry concluded that Amber Heard has two personality disorders, one being borderline personality disorder and the other being histrionic personality disorder. Did you know that personality disorders actually come from a combination of your childhood and how you were raised, your upbringing, and also your genetics? You can be genetically predisposed to personality disorders. Also, did you know that roughly about 1 in 11 people that you meet are suffering from some type of personality disorder, and roughly about 1 in 100 people that you meet are suffering from borderline personality disorder? I mention this because I believe that in our society there is little to no mention of the amount of people that are suffering from personality disorder. And also there is no mention from person to person admitting or acknowledging that within their family that they have family members who are suffering from personality disorder. As I watch this Johnny Depp and Amber Heard trial, I can't help but to flash back to childhood moments of mine where I've experienced similar forms of abuse from somebody who's suffering from a personality disorder. In my experience, it was one of my parents, and I had to really learn how to cope with it. When I would speak to other family members, they would tell me like, oh, that's just their way. You have to accept them as they are. They'll never change. Nothing can be fixed. You're the one who has to change your actions when you're around them. And that really just wasn't healthy for me, because I noticed that the more that I kept myself around this person, the more I was being abused and the more I was subject to toxic behavioral patterns and toxic psychological and mental abuse. Because in most family dynamics that have someone who is being afflicted by a personality disorder and in turn they are affecting everybody else around them, the family tends to have an enabling and justifying approach as to why this person is acting this way and why the rest of the family should accept them and allow them to be that way. Most times it's some type of victimization story telling you about their rough past and their rough childhood, and why when they were a child it was much worse, and that's why you should allow them to abuse you or allow them to abuse the people around you because they had it rough. But that type of thinking is not conductive for your growth. It's not conductive for that family member or that person or that close friend's growth. And I've come to realize that the best way for you to help yourself and also help the person who is being afflicted by this personality disorder is to create distance. Because if somebody really wants the help, then they will find the help. And just in a moment, I'll get into the different types of therapies that have been proven to work with even some of the toughest and hardest to treat forms of personality disorder. But if the person doesn't want to go through these treatments or they don't believe that they need the help, then you're more than likely going to be staying in a highly toxic relationship that has tons and tons and tons of abuse. Now, don't get me wrong, if you find yourself stuck in a relationship with a person who has a personality disorder, I don't want you to believe that you're destined for abuse and there's nothing that you can do about it. If you absolutely have to stay in contact and have to have relations with somebody who is suffering from a personality disorder, you need to lay down boundaries. These boundaries need to be set, and they need to be respecting your peace and your peace of mind. And if these boundaries are ever crossed, there needs to be consequences. And the number one consequence that I can always bring up is a withdrawal of your time. Now, if this person is a family member or a loved one, I know that you probably don't want to distance yourself from them. You think, we've had so much life experience, I don't want to just remove this person from my life. Maybe they're your mother, maybe they're your father. They watched you grow up, they raised you. How are you going to distance yourself from them? And is there any hope of them changing? I'll tell you what, it is very hard to stop speaking to a parent or a family member or a loved one because of the abuse that is sustained through the personality disorder that they're suffering from. But I guarantee you that the result is much better peace of mind and happiness for yourself, and that is really what you should always be ultimately striving for, your own personal happiness. As far as if the person is able to be treated, if treatment is possible for them, treatment is definitely possible for them. There are various different treatments to various different personality disorders. I'll list them up right here. Feel free to look into any of them. Some are like social reprogramming, others are almost like reparenting to the person, and others go deep into the childhood and address childhood traumas and identify toxic patterns that were learned through these traumatic childhood experiences. Another treatment I want to give some honorable mention to is psychedelics. There are some breakthrough research studies coming out now that after a single micro or macro dose of psychedelics with a psychiatrist, these people are able to go deep within themselves and catalyze that change to be able to reprogram their mind and reprogram themselves to cure themselves of these personality disorders. I do this video to bring awareness to the amount of people out there who are suffering from personality disorders, and some of them may be family members of yours, close friends, maybe even yourself. And most times personality disorders are swept under the rug, or they're not really addressed as seriously as they should be, and mental health isn't very commonly addressed as it should be in our society either. So I wanted to take this time to educate all of us and let you know that personality disorders are curable and they can be treated through the proper measures and with the right amount of ambition and passion from that person to change. If you enjoyed this video, definitely hit like, share this with a friend, subscribe to the Shaman Warrior Network. We post up videos every Wednesday, and I'm curious, let me know in the comments if you've been watching this trial between Johnny Depp and Amber Heard, and what are your thoughts on the trial. And as always, I love you all. Peace. Namaste.
We are eternal. We